Hey guys, welcome back. Hope everybody's having a good day out there today, and much appreciated you guys tuning in for today's video. Today I'm going to go over a lot of the mistakes that anglers make fishing in sub-freezing weather when it's below 32 degrees. And I got a lot of experience fishing in cold weather doing the on-the-water jerkbait lessons I do this time of year. And so actually the thumbnail in the picture was a picture from one of the on-the-water lessons yesterday at Table Rock. We had guides, ice in our guides all day long, so going to talk about that a little bit. So anyway, real quick before we get started, just a couple quick housekeeping tips. If you guys have not had a chance to go by fishthemoment.com and check out our lake map breakdowns, please do so. Myself, Johnny, and Matt Steffen are making lake map breakdowns for lakes all across the country. It's a great resource if you want to learn more about the lake you fish, some new areas on them, or if you got a lake that you are going to that you've never fished before, or if you got a lake that you want a map created for, we can build one personally for you guys. So just check them out, fishthemoment.com, under the lake map breakdown section. And actually getting ready to leave this weekend. I'm going to practice up at Lake of the Ozarks for 2.5 days for the Toyota Series tournament. Should be nice and cold up there, so I'm trying to get everything ready at once here, just sort of coming up real quick. Okay guys, let's talk a little bit about the cold weather mistakes guys make fishing in cold weather below freezing. I think one of the biggest things that you have to realize when you're fishing in cold weather, and it doesn't matter where you're at, you're going to deal with cold weather. Even if you're in Florida, you're going to get some bad cold fronts down there. And even if you're in Texas, you're going to get sub-freezing weather down there. So there's very few parts of the country that are not affected by this. So one of the things that you have to realize is that how you want to fish and how you need to fish is all relative to the water temperature in relationship to the air temperature. And I think that one of the biggest mistakes a lot of people make is they fish what the air temperature is. Because if you guys have ever been out fishing like when it's really cold, you're saying, God, I'm freezing out here, and it's like these fish have got to be cold too, so you tend to slow down a little bit. But a lot of times that's not the case. If you've got water temperature that is warmer than your air temperature, well, it's going to be if it's above freezing. But if you've got water temperature that is significantly warmer than the air temperature, the mood and the personality of the bass is not going to be affected by that sub-freezing weather. And I think one of the biggest mistakes that a lot of anglers make is when it gets really cold outside, like you're fishing where it's below 30 degrees, is they just tend to slow down too much. And a lot of times that's not the case, because some of the best days that I've had fishing really cold days, like when the air temperature's in the 20s, has been fishing spinnerbaits and crankbaits and jerkbaits and moving type lures, even though it's really cold out. So one of the things that you really have to pay close attention to is the water temperature. The water temperature will dictate the pace that you need to fish at. In correlation with that, the water temperature has a close relationship to the water visibility. So if you're fishing a body of water that is over 4 foot clarity, say 4 to 5 foot clarity, and even if you've got water temperatures in the 40s and you've got outside temperatures in the 20s, the fish can still be pretty aggressive, because even if the air temperature is really cold and the water temperature is in the 40s, and if you have clear water, those bass will chase, and they're a lot more active and aggressive than what most people think. So don't feel like you have to fish as slow as a snail, if it's cold outside. You really don't have to. On the flip side of that, the time that you do have to slow down a little bit is if you're fishing, if it's really cold outside, if it's sub-freezing, water temperatures in the 40s, and then you got some stain to the water. Say you've got water visibility in that 2 to 3 foot range, which isn't muddy, but it's a good stain that you see around a lot of lakes across the country. If you have a little bit diminished water clarity and the super cold weather outside and the water temperature, that's when you need to slow down. That's when you need to go to pitching or flipping a jig, or throwing some type of a slow moving crankbait like a shad wrap or a wiggle wart, something you can really slow down, slow rolling a big spinnerbait, something like that. That's one of the cases that you have to make that case for. So just a couple more tips with that. When you're dealing with real cold weather out there, in addition to finding your pace, and that's what you have to do, guys. It's not a matter of fishing slow or fast. It's finding the right pace for the air temperature, water temperature, and the water clarity. another thing that you sort of have to do on a sub-freezing day is you have to mentally prepare for that, because there's nothing comfortable about fishing when it's in the 20s. I mean, yesterday it was in the 20s, wind was blowing 20 miles an hour, it was cold. So you have to sort of accept the fact that you're going to be uncomfortable. And you'll be surprised if you accept the fact that you're going to be uncomfortable. It takes a lot of energy away from that cold. So just prepare for that a little bit. Don't moan about it too much. Don't gripe about it. Don't give it the attention, you know, that a lot of people do. Just sort of say, yeah, it's cold, but you know, that's just the way it is. And you know, that goes a long way in doing that too. Also, another thing about that, don't feel like you have to get all bundled up in big boots and big gloves and that type of stuff. You know, one of the best things that I like to do in my fishing is I'll take some wool socks and, you know, some type of sandals on it. So you got a lot of, we talked about this before in a video before, you have a lot of freedom of movement. It keeps the blood flow going. Hand warmers are really effective. You know, I don't like to fish with gloves, even if it's really cold. I will if I have to, but hand warmers will help you out quite a bit there. So anyway, guys, just a quick tip with it. We've been fishing a lot of cold weather lately. Still going to have some more cold weather, you know, coming up. You can see outside the door here, we got snow and sleet on the ground. And it's supposed to be 14 degrees tonight, so that's probably going to really help those fish up at Lake the Ozarks. Not. So we'll let you know how it goes. I'll give you guys a practice report come Saturday. Saturday's going to be my first practice day. I'll have Saturday, Sunday, and half a day Monday. And I'll give you guys a report every day, and hopefully we can all learn something, get something good from it. But even if I don't catch them, you can learn what I didn't do right. So anyway, guys, thanks for tuning in. And hey, please hit that subscribe button if you haven't. It'd be much appreciated. We'll see you.